Yeah, so first, let's just handle the obvious elephant in the room, which is the NFC South. All right, we have the Buccaneers sitting at 7-8, the Carolina Panthers at 6-9, the Saints at 6-9, and the Falcons at 5-10. I don't think
Poverty.
technically any of what
I said poverty. That's what I said in regards to that division.
So not a pretty division. I don't think any of them are technically eliminated, but it's very unlikely that the Falcons will make it to the playoffs, and they do have to play the Buccaneers, so pretty unlikely. Regardless, the key here that I really want to talk about, because the Saints are kind of the outside team looking in, just for reference, they play the Eagles next week, which is very tough, even if Jalen Hurts does miss, which is rumored he might. And then they play the Panthers to end the year. So the Saints don't really hold their destiny in their own hands. But the team that does is the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they have a really crucial game to end the season here next week. And then the Buccaneers will end with the Falcons, and the Panthers will end with the Saints. But really, it's going to come down to who can win this matchup head to head, because the Panthers are 6-9, the Bucs are 7-8. If the Panthers win this game, they will be 7-9. The Bucs will be 7-9, but the Panthers will hold the tiebreaker because they will have beaten them twice, which means the Panthers will hold their destiny in their own hands. As of right now, the Buccaneers still hold it, but the Panthers could steal it this upcoming week. How do you feel about the NFC South? If you had to make a prediction today, who do you think is going to win this division and make the playoffs?
I think it's going to be Tampa. I have to. So looking at Carolina, you said they play Tampa next week, and we've seen they've been leaning on the run game, but Tampa's a pretty good, at least run stopping. I know it's not as dominant as previous years, but still a pretty good run stopping defense. And especially if you're a one dimensional offense like Carolina, it just scares me if the game's in Sam Darnold's hands there, and I could easily see another 16-13 type Bucs win for them. And then I think they take care of the Bucs. Being they take care of business against the Falcons in the final week. So yeah, if I had to bet, that's how I think it goes. But yeah, I mean, I just don't have a lot of confidence in the Carolina passing game. We've seen the run game go off, and their defense is pretty solid. But I just think it's a bad matchup. And then even then, like they probably may have to win the following week against the Saints. Like Saints, very good run defense as well. As we saw, they limited Cleveland this past week also. And
that game could be crucial too, because if, say, the Saints do beat Philadelphia, the Saints will have a lot of motivation because they could still technically make the playoffs and win the division if something was to happen. Well, actually, hold on. Let me check. So the Buccaneers won the second time they played. So that's tough. The Buccaneers hold the tiebreaker over the Saints. So what the Saints need is they need Carolina to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this upcoming week. For them to have their chance.
And then Tampa to lose probably to Atlanta the following week.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
But, yeah, they would need that, because even then, if Tampa was to beat Atlanta and the Saints beat the Panthers, they would be tied, and the Buccaneers would advance. So the Saints, they need Tampa to lose out, and they need to win out. So like I said, it's most likely between Tampa and Carolina. It is something to note that it is going to be in Tampa Bay, and the Panthers are 1-5 on the road this year. So very tough. They're 5-4 at home, where you want to potentially win, but they're 1-5 on the road. So that's tough. I don't know who's going to win. Like I said, I think it's probably going to be Tampa. That said, if the Panthers can run the ball like they did last week against the Lions, and the Buccaneers defense has not been the run defense of old that we've expected them to be. They're still good, but they're not like lights out. If Carolina can control the ball in terms of running and they limit Sam Darnold's impact on this game, I think they can absolutely win. But that's going to be the key, is if Sam Darnold is allowed to self-destruct, then anything can happen. If I had to predict, I'm going to ride the Panthers. I might be biased here because I got a friend that works for them, but I'm going to ride with the Panthers. But it's a tough one regardless, so we'll see. Kind of a coin flip, and like I said, this final game, or second to last game, this upcoming week is really the big crucial one to see what people need in the final week.